Good day, everyone. Welcome to our Music, Arts, Physical Education, and Health. This will be the week 5 of the second quarter. Before we start our discussion for this week, narito ang ilan sa mga paalala. Una, inaasahan na kayo ay nakapagpasa na ng inyong week 1 to week 4 sa inyong mga MAPE teacher. Ikalawa, siguraduhin na kapag kayo ay nagpapasa ng inyong answer sheet sa ating paaralan, ay nakasulat ang inyong pangalan, grade and section, subject, week number at pangalan ng inyong guro upang maiwasan ang pagkawala ng inyong answer sheet. Ikatlo, siguraduhin na may sagot ang answer sheet na inyong pinapasa sa ating paaralan. And to start our discussion for this week, our topic in music is the music and song performance presentation in the country of China. For several thousand years, Chinese culture was dominated by the teachings of the philosopher Confucius. He conceived the music in the highest sense as a means of calming the passion of dispelling unrest and lust rather than a form of amusement. Traditionally, the Chinese have believed that sound influences the harmony of the universe. Significantly, one of the most important duties of the first emperor of each new dynasty was to search out and establish that dynasties through the standard of pitch. A result of this philosophical orientation was that the Chinese theoretically opposed music performed solely for entertainment. With these ideas, you don't need to worry about your performance since Chinese music is not created for entertainment. Rather, it is used to balance the energy within an individual. Melody and tone color are prominent expressive features of Chinese music, and great emphasis is given to the proper articulation and inflection of each musical tone. Most Chinese music is based on the 5 tones or the pentatonic scale, though the heptatonic scale is also used. Chinese vocal music has traditionally been sung in a thin, non-resonant voice or falsetto, and is usually solo rather than choral. All traditional Chinese music is melodic rather than harmonic. Chinese vocal music is probably developed from sung poems and verses with music. Instrumental accompaniment is usually used to add color and interest to the song as well as to accompany the singer in keeping up with the melody and time signature of the song. For our music activity, the direction is you have to listen to a traditional Chinese song, Moliwa. You can search it on YouTube with this link that is posted in your screen right now. And then you have to describe below the folk song using the following musical elements. Describe its timbre, rhythm, meter, melody, harmony, texture, and form. In our second activity, you have to listen intently to the song Moliwa again and sing along with it and memorize it. Use any available material, musical instrument, and use it as a accompaniment. Practice the song and record it in your phone and send it to your teacher. Well, class, since from our previous week, gumawa na tayo ng ating musical instrument or improvised musical instrument, maaari niyong gamitin ang inyong nagawang musical instrument. Take a video habang kinakanta ninyo ang kantang Moliwa and then send it to your MAPE teacher. Also, answer the following questions below in your answer sheet. Bali, kung titingnan natin, meron tayong 3 activity. Una ay makikinig kayo ng song na Moliwa at i-describe ang timbre, rhythm, meter, melody, harmony, texture, and form. Sa ikalawang activity, kakantahin nyo yung kantang Moliwa at ibibidyo nyo ang inyong sarili habang ito inyong kinakanta. While the third activity will be, you have to answer the following questions. Write only the letter of the correct answer. Take a picture of your answer and then send it to your MAPI teacher. In our arts education, we will be discussing the arts and crafts in East Asia. From ancient times, China has been the dominant and referential culture in East Asia, although various developed Neolithic cultures existed in the Korean Peninsula and the Japanese archipelago. Archaeological evidence in the form of work, stone, and blades from the Paleolithic and Neolithic periods suggests an exchange between the early East Asia cultures and the early introduction of Chinese influence. This culture interaction was facilitated in part by land bridges that connected Japan with the continent. The influence of Buddhism, a force that was initially foreign to East Asia, also should not be underestimated. Emerging from India and Central Asia in the 1st century after nearly 500 years of development on the subcontinent, Buddhism offered a convincing universalist system of belief that assimilated and frequently gave visual expression to indigenous religion. China's influence in East Asian region. In the late 13th century, Mongol forces made 2 unsuccessful attempts in invading the Japanese islands. The country was spared occupation by a foreign power until well into the 20th century. This unusual condition of comparative isolation provided Japanese culture arbiters with relative freedom to select or reject outside styles and trends. Nevertheless, Chinese arts highly developed systematic forms of expression, and coupled with its theoretical basis in religion and philosophy, proved enormously forceful, and Chinese styles dominated the key junctures in Japanese history. The reception and assimilation of outside influence, followed by the vigorous assertion of national styles, thus characterized by the cycle of Japanese cultural development. In addition to distinctive reinterpretation of Chinese ink, monochrome, painting, and calligraphy, an indigenous taste for the observation and depiction of human activity and a sense of design are readily apparent in most areas of Japanese visual expression, none more so than in narrative painting and in woodblock printing. Woodblock printing or block printing is a technique for printing text, images, or patterns used widely throughout East Asia and originating in China. In antiquity as a method of printing on textiles and later paper. As a method of printing on cloth, the earliest surviving examples from China date from the 220 Anno Domini. Pottery is made by forming a ceramic body into objects of a desired shape and heating them to high temperature in a bonfire, pit, or kiln, and includes reactions that lead to permanent changes, including increasing the strength and rigidity of an object. Chinese calligraphy is an ancient writing technique using flat edges pens to create artistic lettering using thick and thin lines depending on the direction of the stroke. For our lesson activity in arts education, it is entitled Calligraphy Banner. What you have to do is just to do an art with the use of calligraphy art materials. So the following are your materials that you can use: colored paper, marker or crayons, and pencil. Okay, then you can also read the procedure on how to do it. You can also search in Google or in YouTube on how are you going to do a calligraphy on a paper. After that, Take a picture of your artwork and send it to your MAPE teacher. In our physical education, our topic is all about futsal. Futsal, a term that comes from the contraction of football and sala, and which can be translated as indoor football. In 1930, Juan Carlos Sariani, an Argentinian-born coach and physical education teacher from Montevideo, Uruguay, invents a new kind of football to play indoor in the YMCA basketball court, unaffected by the weather condition, and it is called as futsal. A match is played by two teams, each team than 5 players, one of whom is a goalkeeper. Everyone is encouraged to engage in sports activities to make us strong and healthy. But because of COVID-19 pandemic, we are not allowed to do our sports activities outside our home for health reasons, because we are required to stay at home. We will do our sports activities inside our house or even in our backyard to keep one physically fit. Here are some of the activities that can develop your endurance, like juggling a futsal ball is a pathway to develop the perfect touch. This will be our physical education activity. So in this activity, you will have to learn on how to work on your skills of futsal. So your materials will be, if you don't have any ball that is available, you can use a crumpled newspaper. So magka-crumple ulit kayo ng mga papel at ipo-form ito into a ball na kasing laki ng bola ng futsal ball. Okay? Before doing the activity class, always remember to do a warm-up exercise. You can do a jog in place for 3 minutes, and then jumping jacks 16 counts, arm circles and shoulder shrugs in 16 counts, leg swings for 16 counts again, and lunge forward and sideward for 16 counts. Stretching exercises like arm stretching forward and upward, 16 counts, lunge forward, sideward, 16 counts. This is an example of the activity that you have to do. Ipinapakita sa video na ito ang tinatawag nating juggling of futsal ball. So makikita ninyo na gamit ang paa, i-juggle ninyo ang bola from right to left or left to right alternately. Maaari nyo gamitin ang inyong mga paa at ang inyong mga tuhod. Humingi ng tulong sa inyong kasama sa bahay para kuhanan kayo habang ginagawa ninyo ang activity na ito. Kuhanan ng video at ipasa sa MAPE teacher. Now, in our health education, our topic is all about the importance of maternal nutrition during pregnancy. Pregnancy is a period where a woman can experience a lot of changes in her body. This is the time when maternal care is very important. It involves monitoring of activities, food intake, physical and biological changes, and many more. This module is designed for you to develop a deep understanding of the importance of maternal nutrition during pregnancy, newborn screening, UPGAR scoring system, essential newborn protocol, or what do they call the unang yakap, and the advantages of breastfeeding for both mothers and child. Maternal nutrition or maternal nutritional status affects the offspring's health development significantly during early embryogenesis, pregnancy, birth, and lactation, and subsequently determines health during growth and even throughout adulthood. On the other end of the human lifetime scale, the importance of maternal nutrition expands into the time period before conception. Preconception nutritional status not only influences fertility but also the embryogenesis and lifelong health. Predisposition of coronary heart diseases, type 2 diabetes mellitus or mellitus, and hypertension can be caused by intrauterine adaptations to fetal malnutrition. Hence, optimizing nutrition for women during their reproductive period can be expected to have a great impact on the well-being of the next generation. Having a new baby brings a different kinds of happiness and excitement. Hence, it also comes with great preparation and attention, especially with the needs of the health issues of the baby. The protocol can pave the way for the reduction of neonatal deaths. Essential newborn care is a comprehensive strategy to improve the health of a newborn through interventions before conception, during pregnancy, soon after birth, and in the postnatal period, of course. This protocol will focus on the first few hours of the life of the newborn, with the manual guiding the health workers and medical practitioners in providing evidence-based essential newborn care. The UPGAR scores describe the condition of the newborn infant immediately after birth, and when properly applied, it is a tool for standardized assessment. The newborn screening, or the NBS, is a simple procedure to find out if the baby has a congenital metabolic disorder that may lead to mental retardation or even death if left untreated. Most babies with metabolic disorders look normal at birth. By doing NBS, metabolic disorders may be detected even before clinical signs and symptoms are present. As a result of this, treatment can be given early to prevent the consequences of untreated condition. Breastfeeding is the traditional and ideal form of infant feeding, meeting an infant's nutritional needs for his first 4 to 6 months of life. Human milk is clean. It lowers the risk of intestinal illness and general infection. Mother's milk provides a host of protective factors, both cellular and hormonal. Breast milk contains antibodies that can help the immune system of an infant strong. It is non-allergenic and easily digested. For our activity in health education, you have to create a poster that shows the importance of maternal nutrition during the pregnancy, the UPGAR scoring system for the newborn, and the essential newborn protocol. So you can use any materials or coloring materials for you to create a poster that will show the importance of the maternal nutrition. Take a picture of your artwork or your poster and send it to your MAPI teacher. That will be all for our week 5 of the second quarter in music, arts, physical education, and health. See you again next week. Goodbye and God bless.